Yo, hello guys, and welcome to this session of TIT class with Guru B. So, we have been trying to upgrade our style of recording and everything. And if you observe, today's session is mostly clear and you can see everything as it is. And also, you can try to see me a little bit in the video. But then, due to my camera being turned off or been blocked for a very long time, so you can actually see me clearly. But then today what we are going to do is this class is going to be about Python exception handling. Okay, so it's about Python exception handling. How can we deal with exception? It's the same as you can term it in the English language of exception. Accept something, do something, or do something except this thing. So that's what we're going to see, how we can move around with exception handling in Python programming. So quickly, as fast forward, let us create this new file, and then we're going to call it TIT class 9.py. Okay, so we'll call it TIT class 9.py, and then we see how it goes. So in previous video, like you saw, the .py, like I always tell you, is an extension to denote that this program or this file is a Python file or is a Python program. So quickly, we're going to start and just show you something as quick as possible. For example, we can say TIT1. TIT1 is what we can say. We want to get an import from the user, and then we want to print something. So we get an integer from this user. Okay, we want to get an integer from the user to say maybe you should type the value of x, and then we also want to say in TIT2 as a variable we want to also hold that value of y. Then what we want to do here, after we get the two values from the user, we now want to divide, add, or multiply, whatever we want to do. But for this session is more about dividing, so we're going to say the answer here as another variable is to divide TIT1 divided by TIT2. Okay, so this is the answer, and then we're going to, how do we display the answer? We're going to say or we can just write in here, just put answer. Okay, and then we save it, and then I'm going to come here into this terminal here from my command prompt and try to find this program to run it. So I can say Python, please run this program called TIT class 9. How can I really see it from that end? So let me bring it in a little bit. Okay, TIT class 9.py. So when I run it, it say x, which is the value of the first value, TIT1. It asks me for y, and then I'm going to say 4 also. So the answer is 1 because 4 divided by 4 is 1. Okay, we could also modify a little bit and say first value, and then in here we can say second value. We save it, and then we run this program again. It say first value, we say maybe 5. Second value, we say 7. So 0.714 is the answer. We could also modify the answer here by saying format this guy, and then we say the answer, or maybe how do we term it? Maybe the answer is then we put this guy in the curly brace here. We put this guy in the curly brace and close the quotation, save it, come back here, rerun this program, and say first value is maybe 8, second value is 3, so the answer is 2.66. So we are modifying a little bit more and more. Now it's not about the exception now. How do we deal with the exception? So for example, if we run this program and maybe the user did not type a number, because when we wrote this program we declared that these variables of the first number and second number should be an integer variable, which is 0 to 9. But then if the person decides to type a letter, maybe G, X, or maybe whatever they type, what happens? We now have an error here. Okay, on line 1, blah blah blah, error value or value error invalid literal for in function. So how can we deal with this kind of a problem? Or for example, if we run this program again and then this person say 5 divided by 0, this is 0 division error, division by 0. You cannot divide by 0. So how can we manipulate these long error messages into a shorter form and then just tell the person something very easy to understand without all of these complications and whatever? So let me clear my screen here, and then I come back in here so that we can modify this program together. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to import something called sys module. The use of this sys module in Python programming, it stands for system specification of variables and functions. So it helps us with more functions and variables for us to manipulate this Python environment or this Python code. And then after we have this sys function, we can now say try to do something, try to run this program. We tell Python to try to run this program. And then Python also deal with indentation. So let me open the screen wider so that you can get a better view. I'll try to do this thing, okay? And then except the first one we had was what was the first problem we had? We had the value problem. So the person typed a letter and then that was a value error problem. So except for our value error problem, then what should we do? We should now tell Python to print something to say maybe error. Please type a number on it. Please input number, or just type a number on it. Okay, type a number on it, and then because of this sys function, we can also manipulate something to say sys.exit 1. The use of this line is for us to just automatically end the program if this error occurs. And then we can also try now to do something here as well. We can try to do this, to run this line, which is going to divide the first number this person is going to give by the second number. And then if we do that, we can say except as well, except this person except we having a 0 division. So except there's a 0 division error, then we want you to print something to say error, you cannot divide by 0. Okay, you cannot divide by 0. and then we exit that program or that section of it. So yep, I think so far so good. We can modify it this way, and then here we can also modify to say the first number, which is TIT1, that first number divided by the second number the person will import, which is TIT2, okay, is equal to the answer. Alright, so we are modifying it as best as possible to have a better program. So now let's try to run this program and see what will be the outcome of it. So in here, I'm going to run this program again, and I say first value is 4, second value is 4, so it's a 4 divided by 4 is 1. So here we are modifying a little bit, and if we have this error like we had before, if this person type in a letter or whatever it is, now we say, well, error, please type a number on it. For example, if this person wants to divide by 0, we say maybe 3 divided by 0. You say error, you cannot divide by 0, and it automatically close the program. So this is how you deal with exception handling in Python. We can also modify some things here to make it more beautiful. We should print something here. We can print just to make it something classic. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this line as quick as possible. I'm gonna copy, oh my gosh. Okay, I just want to have the same stuff here, so let me just do the same thing here, and then in between I also want to do something here as well. And say TIT Python Class with Ruby. Okay, so I'm going to try to put this guy in the center, this guy a little bit. I think this space is okay. And then I'm going to run this program again. So now you see here it comes in this form of this kind of a style, and it asks for the first and the second stuff. We can also modify again by saying what is up. We can also say something here, another variable called just TIT, and then this variable is going to ask for the person name, to say it's going to take an import. It's going to take an import to say what is your name, and then if you type your name, it should say something. We can print something here by saying, wow, you have a great name. And then we can add a name to it. You have a great name, and then we say the name is saved in this variable called TIT. But then we can also format it. We can also format this entire line. You have a great name, and then we display the name. And then afterward, we can also say on a new line, we can also print something here on a new line to say you can try to play this game, or maybe you can try to play this division game. Okay, you can try to play this division game, but then we can put it also on a new line here. You can close this program, and then I'm going to rerun it. Let me clear this screen. It's messed up a little bit. I'm going to run this program again. we have an error here. Name import is not defined. What is the name? What is your name? So name import is not defined. What is your name? Okay, I'm coming. Which line was it? It's on line 5. Import. What is your name? Name error. Import is not defined. Oh, I'm sorry. This should be import. Okay, so I'm gonna save it and rerun this program. So now we have it. It's what is your name? My name is which name can I put here? My name is Guru. My name is Guru B. So wow, you have a great name, Guru B. You can try to play the division game. So let's modify a little bit. Okay, you can try to play this division game, Guru B. Okay, so we can try to play this division game. Then we put the name of that person that just import their name. We can try to play this game. We can format this entire line as well, and then we save it here, and we clear the screen a little bit again, and then we try to run it. So what is the name? My name is Guru B. So while you have a great name, Guru B, then here the next line say you can try to play the division game, Guru B. So first value, we can also change that to say please enter the first value. So the first value is 20, second value is 10. So 20 divided by 10 is 2. Okay, so that's how it is. And then if we try to type in any letter or number, what is your name? John Doe. Hey John, you have a good name. Try to play this game. Maybe John type in a letter, it's gonna end. We can say John, this is an error. Please type in a number. So we can modify this program as best as possible or however we want it. This is just to show you the main thing here, or just to show you on how we can deal with exception handling. So we try to do something, accept that error message or accept that thing that we don't want to do, then we display a message and then we terminate that program. We also try to do something, accept this error message that we will get, then we can try to terminate this program. Or if we don't have these exceptions, then we can just print the result of what actually we want. So that was it, and I hope you learned something. If you have any question or any doubt or any suggestions, you can as well leave a comment or inbox me. It's TIT Guru B.